we try to trigger like triggers to get into flow, things of that nature. But the thing is that flow is natural. It's always on. It's our birthright. We just got to figure out what stops us from falling out of it.
Yeah.
And then that changes your relationship, because if you're trying to get into flow, that trying that creates an expectation, creates tension, which is going to impede it. The next thing is, if you're trying to get into flow and shit hits the fan, it's too late. You don't have time to adapt. So you've got to be in it. And I think that's the thing, is like, how do we optimize a life in flow and staying there by catching what gets us out of it instead of seeking to get in it? Because, you know, when you look at flow, so for me, that first time I experienced it, there's three ways people get into flow. If we look at the different things that are there. Number one, life and death. So guess what? Hey, it's flow or die. So it's flow or die. There's one choice. You're gonna flow or you're gonna die. And Laird Hamilton's on a 100-foot wave, right? That 100-foot wave, he has to click into flow or he dies. If that voice comes in and says he's gonna fall, what's next? And he starts to panic, it's done, it's over, right? So it's flow or die. Navy SEAL's about to kick down the door, it's flow or die. So it's kind of like a 50-50 chance. So it's a good and for those who've trained it, they understand, right? Because the situation makes that. The next is people seek isolation. So like, all right, let's go to a mountain, let's go to a cave, let's go into the woods, let's go into the yoga room, let's go into meditation. So they want to isolate themselves to tap into it. Okay, cool. And the third, which you start to see a big trend of now, is the usage of psychedelics and external substances to tap into it.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Life and death, isolation, and external substances are not sustainable.
Right.
Right? They're not sustainable. They may give you a taste of it, but they're not sustainable. The true idea is that how do we get into it from inside without anything outside? How do we stay there without that? Because what happens is, when I learned from my master, he said, listen, if you are aware of where you are in time and space, and something changes around you, you know it's not you. So that means you can adapt to what's changing faster with less energy, because you know it's not you. But if you're not centered, if you don't know and you're not present of time and space and what's happening, then you have to first center yourself and then try to adapt to what's happening. In that, you lose precious time, precious energy, and in life and death situations, that can cost you. So that's when we started to really see, okay, well, the whole thing is the practice of staying there, living a life from that state, and optimizing that through a life of training. Everything is training, you know? And so that is this little change, I think, in the direction that's helped me a lot.
I hope you enjoyed that episode of the Thrive State podcast. And if this podcast is bringing a lot of value to you, if you find that your life is just improving with this podcast, that your life is getting to the next level, please consider supporting it. And here's a few ways you can do so. You can do so by liking this video and commenting on this video, and also sharing this video with your friends and family. Another thing you can do is go to ratethispodcast.com/ThriveState. Go ahead and leave us a 5-star review there. It will really help this show grow. And this will give me more time so that I could actually give more content to you, just like you got in this episode. And if you haven't already picked up a copy of my book, Thrive State, Your Blueprint for Optimal Health, Longevity, and Peak Performance, you can pick it up now. It became a #1 new release in longevity. Go to thrivestatebook.com. And if you enjoy the book, please consider leaving us a review as well. And the last thing you can do, if you're liking everything here and you want to work more closely with me as well as my team to get you into the Thrive State, go to kienvu.com/accelerator and consider joining the home course, the Thrive State Accelerator. It's really the course that I use. It's the concepts that I use personally when I work with CEOs, celebrities, and my high-profile clients to get them to the Thrive State. Again, the Thrive State Accelerator at kienvu.com/accelerator. And because you're a listener of this podcast, I want you to save 25% by using the coupon code podcast25. I hope we continue to give value to you. And remember always, you are your best medicine.